everyone, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of the YouTube season. So we're going to get into YouTube, why you need it, why it's important. So first of all, YouTube, I believe, is something that everybody should be using. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. If you have a brand, you should have a YouTube channel. If you are trying to be a public figure, you need to have a YouTube channel. If you are just trying to have some sponsored promotions or sponsored brands and connections, YouTube is definitely where you want to go. And I'm definitely going to talk about the type of different ways you can use YouTube and some examples of people from all different walks of life that are actually using YouTube for your business. YouTube is actually the #1 video content service, and they have millions and millions of users daily and hours watched. And so why can't you have a piece of that pie? YouTube is one of the platforms that are free to sign up, free to get started, and once you hit a certain platform, you're able to start making money from ads as well as find sponsored videos and partnerships for you to make even more money. So in this digital age where content is king, I'm going to definitely touch on YouTube. So make sure if this is something that sounds interesting to you, that you listen up. But first, I want to give you guys some updates on my life. June has been amazing. So as you know, June has been my birthday month, and I hit June with a bang. For those that don't know, I am newly 29, and I have already know that this year is going to be amazing. So first, I just want to let everybody know I am coming fresh off of jury duty. We closed and everything today, and I just want to say, for those that try to avoid jury duty or complain about it when they're called, jury duty is lit. At least it was lit for me. I thoroughly enjoyed just the whole process. I see, juries on Investigation or Discovery and all these crime shows that we all watch and love, but it's another thing to actually be in the courtroom and in the jury. So I really enjoyed it, and it's also your civic duty. If you were on the other side, you will want someone like you to show up and be able to really interpret if you're guilty or not guilty, and take the time to really want to determine your fate and not be rushed through because you gotta, get back to your family or get back to your life. Let's take some time and do our civic duties. I actually did a federal court, so once you're done with that one, you don't get called for at least another year. I've never been called, period, so I really just enjoyed the entire process. With jury duty, for those that don't know, they will call 14 people in to sit, and then randomly they will take out 2, and so only 12 deliberate. So that was interesting. I'm glad I was one of the people that actually got to deliberate. If I didn't, I probably would have stayed around because I just needed to know how it ended, but that's just, my life. Why wouldn't that happen? Another thing that I'm doing, so I am 29 and not married, and one of the things that I'm definitely taking a focus on this year, I have been for, I want to say last year too, but this year I'm just taking to the next level. I'm doing this book called Calling in the One. I actually got it on Audible, but I'm doing it with a couple of other friends, and I really enjoy what this book is bringing out. I think that it touched on a lot of different things. One of the things that it touched on is that our dating is totally different than our parents, and that's okay, but understand that that's factual. Your parents may have married and dated someone because they went to school with them and it was just time for them to get married, or financial reasons, or family pressures, and we're trying to find our soulmates. I think that there are people that wait it out, those that are waiting it out and are taking relationships seriously, and don't have that baby mama drama or have already been married. But those that have kind of waited, not have done anything, we're really waiting for other things. So having real love, having soulmate type of love, having that deep, vulnerable, I can be happy with someone type of love is what a lot of people are looking for. And a lot of times they'll say, your standards are too high, or you can't have that. And this book really just reiterates that you can have that, and that's the type of love that you should be looking for. for me personally, it has really touched on a couple of things of what I were dealing with that I didn't even really know I was dealing with. So one of the things that I was dealing with is that I have sometimes a pessimistic way of thinking of men just because of my past and from listening to other people and things like that. And that's something that I've definitely let go. I think that another thing that I let go was that I was holding on to different situationships and relationships, past relationships and past situationships, kind of hoping for a rekindle. And that doesn't help the process of finding the one and moving on for that. So I think that that's something that I really touched on and have had like a breakthrough. I think that another thing that I have touched on is being present in the moment and being present with people that can't do nothing for you. So if you're at the grocery store, are you making eye contact with the cashier? Are you being friendly, or are you just in a rush or on your phone? And being open and having that type of energy, and that same energy transfers throughout your entire day. And so just the amount of people that kind of have approached me, both, for professional and personal, and just the amount of energy I'm giving is definitely being received back. And so those are just a couple of the things that I have noticed from this book. And I'm only into week 3. It's a 7-week book, so I don't have all the breakthroughs right now, but I am sharing some of that. So if you are in that same situation where maybe you're dating and not sure, or you are single, or even if you're dating and you want to be able to kind of be more vulnerable and be more opening and kind to your mate, I think that this definitely touches on a lot of different things. It touches on how you were brought up, some of the good and bad figures that you had in your life, and how it kind of affects you. So that's one thing that I've been doing that I really love. So this is actually my first Audible book. So I'm going to give you guys the good and the bad about Audible. Like when I first started Audible, everyone on Facebook raves about it, but I'm going to give you the real from someone that I feel like I'm a real person. Audible is great, but a lot of times I do have to rehear some stuff if I didn't catch it. And for me, because this is a book that's kind of like a self-help book, I really want to take notes and answer some of the questions that they're having and make it for me. So I have to sometimes either hear it over again or make sure that I have a book so that I'm writing and taking notes. And so that's just my take on Audible. I think I'm going to be using Audible for a lot more because I have a goal to read a certain amount of books, but I am not making that goal, and Audible allows me to listen to things while I'm driving, and just in that other time where I have to not be doing anything productive, I'm able to use Audible. So that's definitely something that I'm going to continue to take on. Now, speaking of books, another book that I have picked up is this book called Sponsored, and it's by Brandice Daniel. So Brandice, I'm not sure, I'm going to call her Brandice. Brandice Daniel has this book called Sponsored, How to Get Brands to Pay for Your Next Event. And I found this on Amazon. Somebody posted on Facebook, hey, I'm looking to get help with sponsorships for my brands, and this book was recommended. So I so far am reading it and I'm loving it. And so what I want my podcast to be is definitely a resource. So as I'm finding resources, I definitely want to share that knowledge. Now, one thing I want to get into that just happened is I want to talk about this Monique Damon Dash and Lee Daniels situation. So I know that we all know about Monique and her issue with Lee Daniels and Precious and all of that. So I'm not going to really rehash that. However, I do want to talk about the fact that Damon Dash gave $2 million to Lee Daniels, and he's supposed to give it back within a month. And he so far has not given it back, period. And from what I'm reading, this was for the making of Precious. So this is how long it's been. And with that being said, a lot of people are kind of siding with Damon Dash, and they a lot better than when they did with Monique. And so the first think pieces and comments I hear is that they're doing it with Damon Dash because he's a man, and they're not with Monique because she's a black woman, and not even a black woman, she's a black fat woman, and so she's just not getting any respect. However, I think that another thing that is helping Damon Dash is the fact that it was recorded. It's not a he said, she said. It's not he's in his feelings. Like, this is recorded. People were found him. He confronted him on stage, and you can audibly hear what he's saying. There's no, this is what I'm interpreting. This is what was actually said. However, Monique stayed with the receipts. So Monique actually released a cell phone call between her husband, and Tyler Perry, talking about the entire situation. So I say all this to say, there's a lot of receipts in this. There are a lot of receipts in this. I think that Lee Daniels has definitely been called out, and I'm really excited to see how this story goes. I don't really have a comment, yes or no, on what's going on. I'm just presenting to you guys. I'll let you guys know in the next podcast how this transfolds. But all I say is that I don't think that Monique was lying. I think that she has a lot of receipts. If you can agree with how she went about it or not, but it seems that with this other celebrity coming up, that there is some shady politics going on within that situation. Now, I just talked about how that situation's caught on video. I definitely want to talk about Instagram TV. So IGTV just released, and it's all the rave, and people are really trying to figure out, should I do it? Should I not? I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, you should do it. Why not? You can always delete it, or you can always remove it if you don't like it. But I think that this is just a better place for you to continue to push your brand, business, or whatever you want to do. Facebook and Instagram and all these platforms are just telling you over and over that content is king, but video content is the creme de la creme. So if you're not happy with the way you look on camera, you need to get happy, because this is not going away, and this is going to be another way that you can either be at the top and be ranked or fall to the wayside. So IGTV just means that you can upload videos that are longer than the standard, I think it's 1 minute on Instagram right now. So you can have videos of you performing. You can have videos of you speaking. You can do a webinar on Instagram TV. You can do whatever you want. So I really want you guys to start thinking about how you should do that. If you honestly already have a YouTube channel, you can take some of those episodes and just put them on IGTV, and then you really don't have to think that hard, because YouTube already, the format and how people are doing YouTube videos are different than how people just sit there and do live videos. So if you already have people liking your content on YouTube, then people, I believe, will like your stuff on Instagram TV as well. Now, I think that using it for a webinar is genius, because a lot of times we will promote our webinars and promote our events and online webinars to Instagram, and we will get people to sign up via Eventbrite or follow us on YouTube, but now they can just stay in that platform. And a lot of people like to stay on platforms. If I'm on Facebook, I want to stay on Facebook. I don't want to go to Twitter. If I'm on Twitter, I want to stay on Twitter. If I'm on Instagram, I want to stay on Instagram. And now Instagram has allowed that you can now consume larger amounts of content without having to go to YouTube, which is where you normally would go. But I say all this to say, you still need a YouTube. And this is why. You definitely need a YouTube, because YouTube, one, has been around the game for a long time, and two, it is a great place to have your content and then to prioritize it however you need, right? So for YouTube, you have playlists. So I use YouTube in the following way. One, say that I want to be booked for speaking engagements. You need a place to store your previous speaking engagements so that you can send them to the next person that asks for your speaking engagement so you can get booked. As soon as somebody says, okay, I like what you're saying, I want to book you, they're going to say, hey, do you have any clips of you speaking somewhere else? So it's like getting a job, right? You need experience to get experience. Same thing for speaking engagements. You need experience to get booked. So that's where you need to put it. You can either put it there or Vimeo. I put it on YouTube because people are already searching that and you get paid for the views. So why not put it there? That's number one. Number two, you will want YouTube videos because a lot of times YouTube still has videos that pop up in the you should know. So what does that mean? That means that if I talk about a reaction video or something trending, then my video will pop up when people pop into that. That's an easy way to grow your following and to stumble on new consumers and new people. The next thing is I can use YouTube to do other things within my life. I can use YouTube to vlog my life. I can use YouTube to do sponsored creative videos, and those videos are forever in that permanent platform. So I call YouTube digital real estate because it's always popping up. With all the other ones, they haven't figured out how to have videos that may be a year old, 2 years old, still pop up and be relevant on people's timelines. It's really only you have like maybe 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and then your videos won't ever pop up. Think about Instagram. We don't get things in chronological order anymore, but if you look at how old they are, things are literally 3 weeks old or sooner. So if you have a really, really great content that you did maybe 6 weeks ago, it's done. People are not going to see that anymore as these platforms are today. Now, will they change? Maybe, maybe not. But this is why you need to get on YouTube. I think that YouTube is a place that you can grow your brand. You can use it as a lead generator because you're popping up in the you should knows. And then you can also use it to prove that you're an expert. You can prove that you're an expert by talking about a specific topic. And you can also prove that you're an expert by showing that you're getting booked to speak on this topic. You can also use it for webinars. I actually used YouTube for webinars when I go live. So I'll have Google Hangouts for my webinars, and that's how people can find me and call me and ask questions and use that platform, again, that free platform for it. And while I'm going live on webinars, everybody on my subscription list has been notified that I'm going live and that I have a scheduled live video. So it's a win-win situation when you start looking at it. Now, I want to talk about 3 steps that we can do today that you guys can do until next week. So the first step that I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and create an account. Now, how do you create a Google account, a YouTube account? You create a YouTube account by a Gmail email. So if you don't have a Gmail email, go ahead and sign up. They're free. And then you just go to create an account. Once you create an account, you can choose the name of your YouTube channel. So your name of your YouTube channel does not have to be your email address. It'll be there defaulted. And then you can go ahead and start filling out your account. So when you fill out your account, you're going to create your YouTube channel art. That's going to be the banner. You're going to create your icon. You're going to fill out your description, and then you're going to be able to add links. So the first link and the links that you can add, they actually have text. So for me on my channel, I have my LinkedIn course. First, my LinkedIn course was free. So I said, grab your free LinkedIn course. Now it just says, grab my LinkedIn course. Why? Because it's $5, but I have had 90 people sign up for that. And I feel like that's enough numbers to know that this is something that is of use. And that's where I'm at now. So that has the number, the wording, grab your LinkedIn course, and then it has the icon for my course. Then I'm able to put all of my other channels. So I have my link to my websites. I have a link to my Facebook, my Twitter. I have links to my Pinterest. And I have links for you to subscribe. So that is what you can do. You're going to want to sign up for your YouTube channel, create your account, and then you're going to want to go ahead and get to know your dashboard. Your dashboard is where it's going to show you where you can look at your analytics, see where people are coming from, see where people are commenting, see how much money you've made through ads, and see your most popular videos. When you look at your most popular videos, you're going to want to go in their description box and then put even more information. This is where people mess up. For me, I have a video. My most popular video is a how-to video that I did on how to fly Spirit Airlines correctly. I did that in 2015. It's still getting over 100 views per week. Why? Because when people are searching how to fly Spirit Airlines, my video is popping up. Why? Because that video is very relevant to the searches. So that's what I mean about permanent real estate. Now, that video has descriptions for the kind of suitcase that I used in the video, as well as all information about how you can contact me on any and everything. I also have started to add freebies and courses and other links too, because so many people are looking at it. That is going to be a lead generator for me for a number of years. I can already tell. So that is one of the things that I do. The next thing I want you guys to look at is I want you guys to start looking into creating an end card. So an end card is what is at the last 5 to 10 seconds of the video. So if somebody has made it to the last 5 to 10 seconds of your video, they obviously like your content. So give them where they can get more content. So an end card is normally some sort of image that has a circle where you can put video from the last video, and then maybe a random video, and then it's where you can put the button to subscribe, and then you can also put your social media links for maybe 3 of your platforms. So maybe I'll put Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, and that'll be my 3 for one of the end cards. So you're definitely going to want to do that. Now, how can you do that? You can create your own. You can look at a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to do it, or you can go ahead and you can join some of these Facebook for YouTube groups and you can pay someone to do it. A lot of these end cards are like $15, so not a huge investment. They can look super dope. They can make you a cartoon version of yourself or whatever you want to do, and you'll have a really nice end card. Now, one of the things that I do want to tell you is if this is your first time using an end card, as you're creating your video content, say you're either using iMovie Maker or Final Cut Pro or Windows Movie Maker, you'll want to put the end card on the video. Once it's uploaded to YouTube, you can't add it. So you want to do it before. And so that is going to be all that I'm talking about today as far as YouTube. Now, if any of this is interesting, I definitely have a Start Your YouTube Masterclass that you can go ahead and get right now. It's only $49. So if you go ahead and click the link in the description, or if you go to above-average-university.teachable.com, you will go ahead and see the Start Your YouTube Masterclass. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about if you guys are monetizing your life. Now, what does that mean? I mean, I don't want to hear people complain about these Instagram booty models or Kim Kardashian or any of these influencers making all this money when you haven't influenced yourself and you're not making money. So how do you monetize your life? I'm going to tell you in these easy steps. The first step is I want you to really think about what you post and who you are as a person if your person was a brand. So what does that mean? That means that if you were a 12-year-old boy, I would say that you are sports, video games, and cool shoes. And those would be the 3 things that I would look into. So within that, I would then go and look at if any of the sports that I use, if any of the equipment from those sports, so basketball shorts, basketballs, basketball hoops, if any of those things have an affiliate link connected to them, then when I post, oh, I'm playing basketball today with the boys, then I would use an affiliate link. Now, this is just an example of a person that's not real. If I was to use me, right? I'm a 29-year-old woman. I am marketing and web design. I am beauty. And I am fashion. So now when I put an outfit up on Instagram, I'll say, you can get the look link in bio, or from my blog post. I'll make a blog post about what I'm wearing. And in that blog post, I'll have an affiliate link. You want my shoes? Click the link. You'll get minimum 10% of the total sales. So some affiliate links, you can get 10%. Some you get 20%. Some you get a flat rate of $65. It just all depends. So some of the links that I use right now. So for web design, a lot of people come to me with Average Black Girl to either make a website for them or to use Average Black Girl in my blogs as a resource for them. So I made a blog called How to Write a Blog. And I put 8 hours of information into that. And in that blog, I have where you can get these premium WordPress themes. Now, with that, anytime someone buys a theme, I automatically get around $22 to $44. It all depends on how expensive the theme is. I get about $22 to $44 every time they do that. So I don't mind giving out great information, because if I give out free information, then I'm still getting a kick on the back end. So that's how I feel comfortable giving out all this. People are like, you just give out information all the time. Well, I give it out because I know that I'm getting a kickback on the back end with no cost to you. Now, mind you, on the blog, it does say that this blog does contain affiliate links. You do have to put that if you're going to be putting it on blogs or putting it on social media, period. You do have to say sponsored or ad or affiliate, something like that. You have to let people know through the federal trade. That's like one of the laws that you have to do. So one is finding affiliate links. So I do that for that. If there's a dress or a shoe and they're selling it on Amazon, I'm going to put link in bio and I'll have an Amazon link. Amazon has an affiliate program too. However, they will kick you off if I think you've been on for, I want to say 90 days and you haven't made a sale. They will kick you off. So don't just sign up if you're not serious about really pushing it out there. But for the other ones, there's no time limit. You can do whatever you want. Another one is for web hosting. People are always saying, Danielle, which web hosting should I use? Well, I use and push Bluehost because I get, I believe, $65 anytime someone signs up. Now, it's a hosting that I already use for a lot of my clients. I've done it before. The hostings that I've used, period, I've used GoDaddy, I've used Bluehost, and I've used HostGator. Those are the 3 that I've personally used, and I've personally can rank my experiences on them and say that they are all nice. So those are the ones I push. I don't just push anything, and that's another thing. You don't want to push affiliates just because they're affiliates. You want to make sure that these products are nice and you stand by it, which is why I said think of you as a brand. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to be pushing some, male only things. Like maybe if I pushed like a sports male like penis cup, that has nothing to do with me. It makes no sense. Why am I even talking about this? Right? So people will look at me crazy. That's why you need to figure out what works for you. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to, instead of telling people where you got something, you want to either make it a link or make it a bit.ly link. So what does that mean? So someone says to you, hey, Danielle, where did you get your hair? And I just say, oh, I got my hair from My Extensions. You're just going to go to My Extensions and buy. And now you're not even going to, I get nothing from that. Now, I'm telling you My Extensions because they don't have an affiliate link, so it's nothing for it. But if you were to say, hey, Danielle, where did you get that dress? And I can either tell you where I got the dress or I can give you a link to it. And that's the difference between giving out information and getting the link. Now, it's literally, like I said, no cost to your friend or foe or whoever this person is. So you might as well just give the link. Now, once you have the links stay for about 28 days. So you have 28 days for them to purchase and you still get credit for it. So if it's not an immediate click, it's okay. Now, the second thing you can do is you can start looking for discount codes. Now, a lot of times you'll see people use a discount code and it's the same way as an affiliate link. When people use the discount code, you get a purchase of that. You get credit for that sale. So you can either start looking for companies that have discount codes and they're giving them out, or you can start reaching out to people one-on-one. So what does that look like? That looks like you creating a media kit for your brand. And in that media kit, you say what you're about, what you talk about. Then you'll talk about your followers. What are your demographics? What do they look like? How old are they? Are they male, female? Are they 70% in the United States? Are they 50% in the United States? Like, where are they? And with that information, you can then send that out to sponsors. So what are sponsors? How do I start with that? I would think of 40 to 100 brands. Yes, that many, 40 to 100 brands. And I would write down in a list of who you want to work with. Now, when you're working with these brands, you can't just send, let's say, oh, I'm going to send my media kit to Coca-Cola. No, you have to have an actual person. So this is where it gets a little tough. And then you need to think, do I want it to send it to Coca-Cola in Atlanta at the corporate headquarters? Or do I want to send it to my local bottling that's in my vicinity? Because a lot of these major corporations, they have a amount that they can give to their local community. You just have to figure out who they are. So, for instance, if you were going to use a Coca-Cola and you were going to use a distribution center, you would have to reach out to the receptionist and say that you're looking to have an event, or you're a brand and you're looking for a sponsorship. Maybe you want 5 cases of water, 4 cases of Sprite, 3 cases of Coke, 2 cases of Powerade, and that's what you're looking for. Well, you would tell them that that's what you're looking for, and then you would submit in your donation request. That needs to get approved by not only the distribution manager, but it also needs to be approved by the channel that it's going to. Is it going to be taken from large store, small store, or on premise? So that's 2 different people that need to approve your one event. So if you're waiting until 1 week out, 2 weeks out, you're never going to get it. But if you start the process now, then you will be in a great place, because you're not going to get 100% yeses, especially if you're a growing brand, a brand with potential. You're not going to get 100% yeses, but you're not going to get 100% no's. And that is the amazing thing about growing your brand and finding sponsorships. You really only need 5 brands that can really change your life, right? So I want you to start thinking about that. And these are how these mom bloggers are making $5,000 a month and doing all these great things. Not because they're writing like crazy and having new content every day. No, they're just having their one content being shared and having different exposures over and over again. That's why it's important to be present on multiple social medias, and that's why it's important to continuously spread your expansion and the amount of people that you reach. Because if you're just talking to the same 100 people, well, maybe they don't want to buy from you, but you need that one person that don't know you from Adam that likes what you're talking about that's going to purchase. And you can do that. We all can do that. That's one of my missions. We all can have our own brands. We all can have our own side hustles. We all can be the Kim K of our own lives. And because we all have people that love us, respect us, more importantly, and value our opinion, to the point that if we say that this product is great, this product is good, they'll buy from us. And this is the world we're turning into. Yes, billboards are amazing. Yes, advertising in the traditional sense still works. But a lot of these companies are going toward these individual influencers. And you can be that. Especially if you're able to hear what I'm saying from this podcast. That means that you have the technology to do what I'm telling you to do at the tap of your finger. So I'm going to end with all of that. I know I've given you a whole bunch to think about, but your homework is definitely to go ahead, create that YouTube account, and start thinking about that build out, and definitely test out IGTV. Let's make sure that we are a first mover for this and not one of those last to catch up. This is going to be great. Instagram is not going anywhere. If you don't already know, Instagram is now owned by Facebook, so they are not going anywhere anytime soon. So this is a great time to get on something new and really make a name for yourself. I am so excited for what's about to happen with you and your brand. All right, my above average crew, you can reach me on my websites at averageblackgirl.com and my blog and lifestyle website at DanielleAMitchell.com. You can reach me on Facebook and Instagram at Average Black Girl and on Twitter at ABG Girl. And you can reach me on Pinterest at A Black Girl 2015. And don't forget, the Start Your YouTube Masterclass can be found at above-average-university.teachable.com. I will talk to you soon. Bye.